Hello friends and welcome back to another video. It's Friday the 13th. Whoa. And welcome back to hopefully the first of many Premier League preview videos. And tomorrow it is Brighton against Liverpool at the Amex, Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff. Yeah, it should be an exciting one, purely because, as I've said in previous videos, we are a team that a lot of clubs should be fearing at the moment. Not because like we're winning so many games or whatever, but we're playing like some of the best football in the league at the moment. And that's what this video is going to be going over. Lineups, predictions, where the key battles are going to be won in the game, hopefully. And yeah, if it's the first time you're watching, obviously stick around and subscribe, and let's get straight into it, I guess. Starting off with predicted lineups, not too much change on the Brighton side, obviously, to keep things flowing. Robert Sanchez in goal. Back four, I've personally decided to go, I reckon they'll go with Veltman at right back instead of Lamptey, just for a bit more physical presence and defensive stability. Although, depending on Liverpool's lineup, I wouldn't be mad if Lamptey started either. Webster's starting to return to full fitness, but I don't see any reason why Colwill should be dropped. Moving into midfield, I've gone with Caicedo, obviously undroppable, and Pascal Gross, who seems to be doing well in that deeper role, which is kind of become like a free role for him to roam. It's more of like a 4-3-3 when we attack, and Caicedo just sits there and gets all the dirty work done. We have obviously I'm going to put McAllister back into the starting 11 because the guy is also undroppable at the minute. And I wouldn't be surprised if he plays in the 10 role in this game, and I'm going to explain why later on. Mitoma and March on the wings, and up front Evan Ferguson. Again, no reason to really drop him, even though Welbeck did feature against Charlton, and perhaps Welbeck might be the more suited option to work the channels and stretch the play and get the others involved. I would understand it, but I would also I'd be disappointed if I was Ferguson and not starting this game after the way he's been playing. For Liverpool, plagued with injuries obviously, so I've made the best I can with this lineup. Apparently Núñez is a doubt for this one, so I've based this lineup off if he doesn't feature. Alisson in goal, obviously, despite his weird mistakes against Wolves. I don't really see him being dropped. Trent and Robertson in the fullbacks. Again, just not much choice there for Liverpool. Obviously, Virgil van Dijk is out injured now, so Matip and Konate are probably the most likely to feature. Henderson starting in midfield because he's going to need as much covering assistance for Trent as possible in this game, and Fabinho and Thiago have been starting the last few as well. Salah obviously on the right, and because Núñez and Firmino are doubts for this game, I've stuck Gakpo up front. If Núñez or Firmino do feature, then I expect Gakpo to be pushed out onto the wing. But if we're taking injury doubts into consideration, then this is probably Liverpool's most likely lineup. And I mentioned about Henderson having to start for Liverpool in this game because of the amount of covering he's going to do, because we all saw what Mitoma did at Anfield. There was a lot of viral clips going around socials of him burning Trent. And now he returns to the Amex whilst Mitoma is in the form of his life at the minute, also adding goals and clinicalness in all general areas into his game. Mitoma, I actually found out, I was saying before, like, it was baffling that he was still at university at 21 still playing university football. Turns out he actually rejected a professional contract to study 1v1 dribbling at university. How crazy is that? And I mean, Trent should probably be studying on how to prayer in Scouse, because he's going to need all the help he can get in this game, because like I said, when Mitoma was just stepping onto the scene, he was so pivotal in that Anfield game, sent Trent for a few hot dogs, and now he's even better than he was then. So it could be a long day, but I'm sure it's going to be an area that Klopp's going to target. They're going to assess. They're going to, have a setup for it. But sometimes there's just things you can't stop, I guess. What could be a key factor in this game is the fact that both teams are pretty now well known for playing such a high press and a high line, which is why I think potentially there could be goals galore in this game. Obviously there were 6 goals at Anfield. Now De Zerbi's implemented this style that I've mentioned before, now known as La Pausa, where you've seen the likes of Colwill and Dunk take extra long on the ball to welcome a press, and then be able to move the ball forward quicker, and we've been creating more chances from it. Whether this will work against the Liverpool side, it is of course an aging midfield, which has been struggling over the recent few weeks. So this could benefit Brighton in that way. But obviously we've known Liverpool over the years as such a high pressing, high intensity team. Therefore, it could go either way. But obviously Liverpool have been leaking so many goals recently. This would be... It's a great time to play them. Put it this way, it's such a good time to play them, and it could really go either way for me. We could absolutely batter them, or we could get caught out like we did in the Arsenal game. Key player for me in this one, of course, is going to be Alexis McAllister, in the form of his life at the minute. Gained at least 1 million followers on Instagram after his World Cup performances. And a very sought after player now, and rightly so. He got 2 goals off the bench against Borough. Looked a shade of class over most of the other players. Two brilliantly taken goals, and the reason he got those 2 goals as well was him being able to pick up pockets of space in the box, almost like Lampard-esque runs into the box, finding space and being clinical once again. So calm on the ball, so intelligent, and the reason why I think he'll be so key for this game is because, again, talking about Liverpool's age in midfield, no Van Dijk to command the defence. McAllister should be using this opportunity to play further forward in the 10, give him that free role. De Zerbi is going to say to him, you're a World Cup winner, you're that guy now. You go forward and you do what you want. He's going to link up as much as possible and find those spaces in the box, because, like I'm saying, with Liverpool's midfield, it's just there's a lot of legs lost there. Fabinho's legs said obrigado like months ago. And whether they're going to be able to pick him up, because he's got stamina as well, McAllister. He will keep on running and finding opportunities and spaces as much as possible. And when you've got runners all over the pitch like Brighton do, it's going to be hard for Liverpool to continuously try to isolate McAllister and take him out of the game. So I fully expect him to hopefully pick up a goal this game, because I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities. I want to quickly talk about Cody Gakpo in this one. Obviously, recent summer signing from PSV. He got himself 9 league goals in 14 games so far this season. Also played at the World Cup for Netherlands, getting 3 goals in 5 games from 5 shots. He's a clinical little fella, which is weird to say for someone that I don't really believe is good enough to lead the line in a striker role for a team like Liverpool. In this game, potentially they might not have any other choice due to injuries, but yeah, like I said, like he's clearly a winger, and I felt like in the World Cup games for the Dutch, he felt quite isolated at times. It felt like Van Gaal's obviously got his system set, and he just said to Gakpo, you know, you'll do. You're obviously having a great season. You're going to play striker. Do your best. And there was a lot of times I felt in the World Cup, like despite his goals, that was literally just coming from him being clinical, not from him being able to be fully involved and lead the line well as a striker. So whether he can do that for Liverpool, obviously it's early doors, so it's hard to say. I didn't watch the FA Cup game against Wolves, so I didn't know how well he did. I think he played 83 minutes or so I don't actually know how well he did in that game. He's clearly bought to be a winger, because I think Liverpool are going to keep faith in Núñez. They don't really have a choice. Maybe they have bought him for his like flexibility, and he's played on the wing, he's played in the 10, he's played striker. So maybe Klopp can coach that out of him to be like that elite level in all areas. But in this game, I just wonder whether, if he's going to play striker, whether he's going to have that physical presence to help bring the likes of Salah into the game or not. And of course, I'm going to round things off with my score predictions. Now, I've been thinking a lot of this one, because my head says that we will comfortably win 3-1, but my heart says that we are going to make mistakes, gaps will be opened, and it could potentially be a 2-2 draw. But I think I'm going to remain optimistic. I think because of Liverpool's injuries, their lacklustre midfield, and you know, Gakpo being rushed into the first team so soon and having that pressure of potentially having to lead the line on Saturday. If Núñez plays, it could be a problem for us, because I've said before, this might be the type of game where he just cashes out his XG. It wouldn't surprise me at all, and because of the high lines that both teams play, it could be goals galore. But I'm going to remain optimistic. I'm going to say 3-1 to Brighton. I expect McAllister to have a great game and hopefully pick up a goal. We'll see, man. We're playing such good football at the moment. There's no reason why we shouldn't be optimistic. So yeah, that is my preview for Saturday's game against Liverpool. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see more, obviously. And yeah, see you go.